Welcome back. Now, the government has announced proposals to fight leasehold abuse, which can often see homeowners hit by escalating ground rents and developers reaping high profits. But campaigners say that these measures don't go far enough and do nothing to help those in already spiralling contracts. Sky's Sally Lockwood has this report.
The homeowning dream is being shattered by developers. After Jo Derbyshire bought her family home near Bolton 8 years ago, she planned to buy the freehold later on. But the cost rose exponentially with no warning.
So how much impact has all this worry had on you?
Oh, sleepless nights. I felt physically sick when we first found out.
So she's now stuck as a leaseholder, paying doubling ground rent, which will reach £10,000 a year in 50 years' time. And it's rendered the property unsellable.
It's huge amounts of stress and worry. And I think I don't really know whether I'm a homeowner anymore. I think when I bought this house, my understanding of leasehold was that I owned the house, but I didn't own the land. Whereas I've since found out that legally I'm effectively a tenant. And I'm paying a huge mortgage for the privilege of having the right to live in this property for the term of the lease, but I don't feel like I actually own it.
There are more than 4 million people like Jo living in leasehold properties in England. Around 100,000 home buyers are thought to be trapped in contracts with spiralling ground rents, paying £4 billion in service charges. The government says it's unacceptable for home buyers to be exploited. Its new measures to cut abusive practices include a ban on the sale of new properties as leaseholds. But that doesn't help the thousands of people trapped in existing rip-off leases.
When these houses were built in 2010, the cost of buying the freehold was around £5,000. But unbeknown to the homeowners, the developers sold the freeholds a year later to an offshore investment company. And the cost of buying the freeholds jumped to around £50,000. And it's this sort of practice that's earned it the name the PPI of the housing industry.
My appeal is to the MPs who are on the Community Select Committee to call in these house builders, the chief executives who are on ridiculous remuneration packages, one getting a bonus of £120 million, for example, and call in the chief executives of the ground rent funds. So far as we can identify them, of course, the ones offshore are going to be a bit more tricky. Call them in and subject them to the Philip Green treatment. These people hold the destiny of millions of people's lives in their hands, and they've seriously disadvantaged them with these rip-off leases.
Leaseholds have already been scrapped in Scotland, but in England and Wales, it's a David and Goliath fight between hard-working families and developers who want to own the homes they thought they'd bought. Sally Lockwood, Sky News, Bolton.